For those of you that do not know me, my name is Jack Thomas. I am the founder and CEO of Base in Bangkok. We have 3 studios in central Bangkok. We've been operating for 4 years. I'm also the host of the Fitness Business Asia podcast. Now, we put out an episode each and every Monday. It's a mix of solo podcasts from myself, talking about the experiences we've been through at Base. We discuss branding, marketing, PR, recruitment, really everything you need to know to set up a strong fitness business. And we also bring on industry leading guests. Many of you guys who are here today, Annabelle, I see, has popped her name in the comments as well. Today's roundtable discussion is the future of online digital fitness and wellness. So we all know in the last 1 to 2 months, the industry has seen a huge seismic shift towards online and digital. Now, some players have moved very fast to get quality professional offerings online. Some have been a little bit slower to move, but we have undoubtedly seen that big shift. Now, today's session will explore this shift towards online and digital and really what this will mean for the industry post-COVID-19. We're going to go through 4 main points today. One is, how have you pivoted your businesses towards digital offerings? We're going to look at how you are monetizing your digital offerings, your balance between paid and free content, and how much we should charge. Will you keep your digital offerings once your studios, your bricks and mortar businesses are up and running again? And then finally, if we have time at the end, we will touch on marketing tips for getting your digital offer and production tips for making high quality digital content. Want to explain a little bit about how this session will work. I can have 5 participants at any time. I will start to add a couple of people in now. You can either view the session as you are now. We cannot hear what you say. You will be able to hear all the participants in the roundtable discussion. If you'd like to participate, please click the participate button. I will do my very best to get you on the roundtable. We have 160 requests, so it's going to be impossible to get everybody on. I will do my best to include you. If you leave a comment in the discussion, maybe what you'd like to talk about, it might be a little bit easier to pull you online. Please, guys, keep your statements to under 1 minute. I will give you a polite reminder at 1 minute that the time is up. That will enable us to hear from more people, get more ideas out there. The idea of this discussion is to really spark your interest in a topic, maybe in a person, and then after this session, you can connect with that person either through this platform or connect with them on LinkedIn, do some deeper research into the topic you'd like to know more about. So with that being said, let's get started. We are going to first ask the question, how have you pivoted your digital business to include, your offline business to include digital offerings? And while I look to include a few of you to share your thoughts, I'll tell you a little bit about what we have done at Base. So we acted very quickly to introduce one-to-one coaching through Skype, FaceTime, Zoom. We wanted to get an offering out to the coaches quickly so they could still continue to earn. That went down well and provided us some revenue at a difficult time. Obviously, revenue pretty much dried up overnight. Since then, we've been working very hard on a online platform called Base Anywhere, which is basically a group class platform. So you can do group classes at home. That has been very popular. We have over 100 paying members for that. So we're trying to really prep as much as we can to keep our clients fit, keep our clients healthy, and continue to bring in revenue at this time. Okay, I'm going to look at pulling a few of you guys into the conversation. Okay, bear with me, guys. Okay, just a little trouble bringing people in. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments section. What's the price guideline for online PT versus regular PT? What's the industry standard on this? I think because you're not actually using the location, I feel that for this, you have to charge a little bit less than your current rate. The way that we decided to do it at Base was that it would be, if you have a package already, you can use your current package, or we set up a special package just for online training, which we made cheaper, about 75% of our normal package rate, because of course they're not coming into base, they're not using our facilities. So we felt it wasn't really fair to charge the same amount, and that seemed to have a good, strong uptake. Also, with that, we gave the coaches a higher percentage. In some cases, with monthly programming that we did, we gave our coaches 100% of monthly programming revenue that we brought in. Really, our main priority at Base was to support the team, support the coaches, make sure they have revenue coming in at this time. So we charged less to the clients, we paid more to the coaches to help them get through this difficult time. Of course, they have been affected massively by this. And so we felt that has worked quite well, and the uptake of that has been good. 3 tips on executing a digital stream to be as engaging as possible from Sam from ClassPass. I think it's a big jump for some coaches to go online. They're used to having people in front of them. So one good tip we found for our coaches when going through the Base Anywhere classes is to really imagine the person that you're speaking to. You might be used to speaking to a class of 10 people, 20 people. Now there's just a camera in front of you. So I think it's important to imagine that person in their living room actually doing the class with you. That I think really helps to get them in the right frame of mind to actually talk to that person, keep them motivated, and also to keep it personal as well. I think it's worth investing in a decent setup, make sure the lighting is right, make sure that it looks professional. Everything that you put out is reflective of your brand. So I've seen a lot of gyms, a lot of coaches simply just get out a phone, suddenly go into a Instagram live, just doing burpees and mountain climbers. Someone's holding the camera, it's shaking around. I think you have to remember that everything you put out is a direct reflection of your brand and what you do. So it is very important to make sure it's high quality, make sure it represents your brand well. 3rd tip, Sam, I'm going to give you a quick one. Really plan these sessions ahead. Plan how you're going to introduce the sessions, practice that introduction, what you're going to say. Make sure you really give a set structure for the class so that people that are watching it know what to expect. How are you going to wrap up the session at the end? Make sure that the experience is somewhat similar to the professional experience that you bring in your actual bricks and mortar studios. That's something which I really don't see enough. Any other questions, guys? Please do prop it in. We are having a few technical difficulties adding anyone else in, so please do ask questions. Content, content, content. That's right. I think now is the time we have, of course, more time on our hands. Marketing for us has really gone into overdrive. Our marketing team have been working very, very hard just to make sure we can stay connected to our clients, to our members, make sure that we come out of the other side of this strong. As brands scramble to pivot to digital content, for what is potentially short term, what are the best ways to set yourself apart and offer value when compared to the really high quality production? Great question. I like that. How do you compete with Peloton if you're a spin studio? You already have your client base that know you, love you, and feel connected to you. There are great apps out there. You know, in our space, which is HIIT training, strength training, we have Freeletics, which I think costs around $9 a month, or they have a free option. We are charging $70 a month for our online platform. So why would you come to Base and not just download the free Freeletics app or pay $10? Well, they know the Base coaches. They trust the Base coaches. We have housed our online platform through Facebook. So that gives the opportunity for engagement. We've just set up a 6-week challenge for everybody in the group. They will comment below once they've done the workout, so they will leave photos, they will gain points. We know these people already, or most of them. So that really gives us an opportunity to connect with them, to inspire them, to motivate them in a way that Freeletics can't do. Now, with that, if you do a great job, these people in your community will start to refer their friends. So we've actually had people from all over the world joining our online platform, where current members have said to their brothers, their friends, hey, I've told you about Base before, now you actually have an opportunity to do it. So it's been really awesome to see people from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Australia, come onto the Base Anywhere platform, and that will really help us to expand our reach. So can we compete with the quality of Peloton and these other apps? No, we probably can't, but we can compete in terms of our client base, how well we connect with them. Hope that helps. As Owen said there, relationships, trust, connection, they have that with you already. So double down on that. When developing virtual class as a large-scale operator, what's your opinion on the most critical element? Class being professional and branded, or being able to put familiar faces in front of the camera? I think it needs to have a certain level of professionalism, for sure. I think that's important. It needs to look good. It needs to represent your brand. But I think getting that soul, that character, that connection, familiar faces, as you said, will certainly help with that, I think is more important. So again, if the camera's shaking around, the lighting's good, it's cutting their head off, that's not great. You need to get those basics right. Once you have that, it is more about the soul, more about the connection. Any other questions, guys? Please do fire them through. Nicole from Fitness First Singapore. How would you choose and manage the platforms, channels to broadcast the online content? What would be the best practice in terms of releasing such content, and in which formats? So there's different ways you can do this. I see a lot of gyms, a lot of studios doing Zoom workouts. We have included that as part of our platform. The great thing about that is you have this two-way interaction. So the classes I've done, I've been push people harder. It's a real awesome two-way experience. There are platforms. One is Uscreen, I believe, in the US is quite a big one. So you can actually house your whole online platform on a third-party app. That's going to give it quite a professional look, a professional face. We chose to do it through a Facebook group. The reason we chose to do that is we can really engage with them on a platform they already understand, they already know. Facebook is very popular in Thailand, and we can do things like polls, introductions, comments on videos. And so that has been really highly effective for us. And then in terms of taking payments, we basically just have a Google Doc. We check the payments each month from the clients. We have automated payments coming through our payment gateway, so it's automated off their card each month. And some of our customer service team, our front of house team, are being kept busy with that. Hope that helps. How to stand out when swamped with so many others trying online and giving it out for free, limited by being in full lockdown. Of course, if you're in full lockdown, it does make things tough. If you can get into the studio, that really depends on where you are. I think it gives it that more professional look for sure. Many people, of course, are reduced to doing classes in their bedroom. Again, I think there's so many offerings out at the moment. Every studio is firing something out, but there's only one gym. If you're a client of a gym and you only go to that gym, you are more likely to look to that place first. So you really just need to double down on that, I think. I would say reach out to your clients, like personally. That's something that we have done as well. We've called clients, we've messaged them, we've engaged on social media. So not just gone through the usual channels such as email, obviously social media, but reached out to clients one-to-one and said, hey, by the way, we've got this online platform. I think you'd really like it. First month is half price. Jump in, let me know how you get on. So again, it's just really doubling down on those one-to-one connections. Are you looking to expand virtual online classes for the long term after all of this is over? If yes, no, why? I think it depends on the quality of your offering and the take-up of your offering. I think if you have just been putting together, poorly thought out classes, just quickly getting your phone out and doing a few lives here and there, you're not really going to be able to A, bring in much revenue now, and B, really have a strong product for when we go back to normal. For us, the uptake has been so encouraging. It's bringing in revenue. It's helped us to connect with more people. It's actually been a lot of fun for the coaches to develop the platform as well. They've actually learned a lot, I think, from being in front of camera and doing the classes there. We think that we will continue our platform afterwards. We made a commitment to everyone to do 3 months. So fingers crossed we're back in business before then, but we will absolutely stay for at least 3 months. The way we think we might do it is if you're a current base member with a base membership, we would offer you a discounted rate for getting our online platform as well. Probably very heavily discounted. So if they're on business, if they cannot make it into the studio, kids are sick, have to work late, something like that, they still have an option to train at base. And then if they don't have a base membership, we would have a higher priced membership for them, a higher priced option, perhaps if they're abroad. So we've invested a lot into this, a little bit of money, a lot of energy, a lot of time into making this platform really very special. The response has been great. So we will continue that afterwards, I think. If this is something you've just patched together quickly, a couple of clients have jumped on, but they all really can't wait to get back because it's not quite the same doing their CrossFit class or their spin class or their yoga class at home, then I would say it's probably better to focus back on your bricks and mortar once you are open. Do you know of any bricks and mortar businesses that are managing to achieve meaningful revenue in this time? I think it's tough to get anywhere near what kind of revenue you were ordinarily bringing in. For us, we have really looked to take care of our staff as much as we possibly can during this time. So everyone is still getting a basic salary, which, we are fortunate to be in that position financially that we can do it. With that, we have been working overtime to try and basically flatline our finances so that we're not losing any money during this time. That's what we've been working hard towards. I think if Base Anywhere continues to pick up, then we can hopefully just not lose any money at this time. I think to actually make meaningful revenue, to pivot quickly into online and actually make money is going to be difficult. And then, of course, it does depend on the conversations you have with landlords. If they have waived rent, that means that perhaps you might actually be able to make some profit if you really did create a special online platform. Quickly. Hey, Jack, how important do you think it is, the localization of content, including language, having trainers actually from the markets you are targeting? Very open question. It really does depend on where you are. We are based in Bangkok, but we have a very international feel for our brand. So many of our Thai coaches are actually half Austrian or half Thai, half American, or grew up or lived abroad. So the feel of our brand is very international. All of our classes are in English, both in the studio and also online. That's not a good or bad thing necessarily. That's just become something that our brand has become known for. So I think it really depends. Of course, if you're outside one of the major cities, for example, then I think it's probably going to have to be in the local language. I would say it really depends on the feel of your brand and what kind of classes you had actually in your studio. I do think wherever you are, it is important to be talking to the local markets, not necessarily in language, but just culturally, you really need to be talking to the people in your city. Are you seeing anyone gathering data to improve personalization data? Not too sure about that, Daniel. Not too sure what you mean with the question there. That's not something that we've particularly looked at. Give us your opinion on the amount of time for classes. So we decided to go a little bit shorter. We feel at home perhaps there's more of a barrier to actually decide to do a class. Oh, we do have someone in the stream now. Sarah's in. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? We have decided a little bit shorter in terms of our classes. So when you come to Base, it takes about 10 minutes to explain the class, to go through the stations, to explain how our technology works. Now at home, we can get started quite quickly. So we've gone between about 35 and 45 minutes. And we explain to our members that offers you the same workout that you would get in a studio because you start pretty much straight away. I think an hour class at home for the kind of training that we do, HIIT and strength training, is quite difficult, I think. So to get people maybe to commit to doing that at home. For yoga, other modalities, I think that could be maybe okay to do a longer class because that's more how they do it in the studio as well. Okay, so we're pulling in a few people now, which is great. So Daniel, let's go back to the first question. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me, Aaron?
We can, yeah. So how have you pivoted your business to include digital offerings?
Well, so yeah, with Wexa, we're, I guess, helping businesses pivot to digital so they can brand up their own website and include existing content, and we're working to help them add their own content to that as well. So I guess it's been more of a facilitation part for us. A lot of the conversations we've been having over the last year or so are coming to fruition. But yeah, my question, I fat fingered the chatbot. But yeah, basically I was just seeing if anyone is gathering information from their members who are doing some of these online classes to see what's more popular for when they do come back online, and maybe even altering or thinking about altering the service they offer when we come back offline to I guess fit what the members are really looking for. So I think it's important that think it's important that the clubs own this process or chains own this process so that you still own the member. If you're using third-party content, great, plug it in. But I do think that that's a really important part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, great to welcome you to our roundtable. We've already heard some great thoughts from you. Can you, let's skip to the last one, question 4. Can you give any marketing tips for digital content or production tips, perhaps? And is digital content something that you are working on at the True Group?
It is, but as I said just now on the main stage, it's not something that we excel in. It isn't. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I reached out to Paul Bowman yesterday, Daniel.
Hi, Sean, yeah.
So we're reaching out to expertise within the industry. It's not something we do very well. And we've tried certain things, trial and error. So online streaming is great, but funnily, we find that the way our studios are set up in our clubs, if you're there attending a live class, it's fantastic. It's great atmosphere and all that. You try to record it and you broadcast it at home, and all of a sudden the echoes become amplified. You hear a lot of things that you would not notice when you're in a live class. It gets us thinking about production quality as well. If you don't do a live stream, and you have an instructor at home or in a quiet room or even in the studio by himself or herself, and as you do that, you realize that the instructors, it takes a while to get used to being filmed.
It does.
They're awkward, they're quite at ease to get in front of a class of 30, 40 people in front of them, but you put them in front of the camera and they freeze up for some reason. So there's
an experience for them though, right? To go through that.
It is, yeah, it is. So it's been a steep learning for us, and we've realized that you talked about this just now, Jack. Cutting down the duration of an online class. You can't have an hour, even 45 minutes. Most people would find it, would find it long. So we've been cutting down everything to under 30 minutes. So even for yoga, bite-sized pieces. Something which is manageable for everyone. And you need to have a variety of offerings so that if you want to do yoga, if you want to do meditation, you can do that. If you want to do something that's strength related or with your core, you can go do that as well. And I think that with online offerings, we've been seeing that people are actually experimenting a lot. Whatever's easy for them to do, whatever equipment's available, so they will flip. You would normally not see them go and attend as wide a variety of classes in a physical club, but online, you see that happening.
Yes. We've got a couple of questions here. Daniel, Sean, if you want to cut at any point and make any points, please do so. So, Jack, now you're offering online content. How do you keep members accountable or reward them to help drive participation? Met points, perhaps, Mike, might be nice. Get them on MyZone. See how many Met points they're earning at home. I think would be one good way. Maybe you could start a MyZone group. So I think that'd be one awesome way to engage your members at home. Because we've done it for a Facebook group, we have verbally encourage them to comment on workouts once they've done the workouts. Now that I'd say has had moderate to good success. Now we've set up a 6-week challenge where they get prizes if they do a certain amount of workouts. So if they comment underneath the workout, they get 1 point. If they leave a photo of a selfie or of the training area, they get 2 points. So there's prizes linked to how many workouts they do. So we are confident that kicks off next Monday. We're confident that's going to really help to drive participation. I think accountability is massive. You need to find some kind of way that the members are actually doing this at home, because otherwise I think people could quite easily drop off. I think when you have a good, strong community, people can hold each other accountable as well. But I think having something so you can actually see they've done the session is great. Edgar, very nice to welcome you to the conversation. I hope you are doing well. You are from Expro, of course. Can you just tell us a little bit about how you have shifted to digital and online? Or perhaps not. Edgar, can you hear me? Okay, let's switch to Owen's question while Edgar gets his audio sorted out. Can we keep traditional gym members engaged with only body weight? Great question. I'll give my answer, then I'll pass it back to Sean and Daniel. We have teamed up with local suppliers for dumbbells, bands, kettlebells, so that they can get a discount on those items. Then we've just encouraged them to either use body weight if they really have nothing, but also to use household items. So rucksacks with books put in, you can do lunges or presses, water bottles. That's worked quite well. But we've actually found that of the 120 members we have on our community, we've had around about 80 or 90 that have purchased equipment or had equipment already. And I think most of the others are thinking about buying some as well. So just body weight, yes, it is difficult, of course, but there's lots you can do to help them get equipment at home. We have also rented equipment from Base, just another way we can help pay the staff at this time. And that has been pretty popular as well. We've even sent out row machines and dumbbells. Daniel, do you have any thoughts on people training at home, lack of equipment, and how we can maybe get around that?
For sure. I think a lot of it is about the type of, if you are creating content, the type of content you're creating, just to make sure there's variety, whether there's equipment or not. If you can make sure that there's variety, that's what's really going to keep people engaged. So, there's simple things that everyone has in their house, like a chair. So we can do bench dips, we can do a step, we can do all those sorts of things. But yeah, I think it's more about variety than the equipment available. Anything that they can grab, if we decide that it's cans of dog food, or dogs or pets, as Simon said before on the call. But whatever you can find. But I do think that variety in the programming and the right message and keeping that energetic is a great way to do it.
Yeah, Tracy, lovely to welcome you to the roundtable. You've been doing some amazing things at Fire. I've been really impressed with what you guys have been doing. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what you've been up to at Fire and how you've switched so quickly and effectively to online and digital?
Hi, Sean. Hi, Daniel. How are you guys? I'm Tracy. I haven't met you, Daniel, I think, and I'm one of the team from Fire Fitness, and we're based in Malaysia. We have some boutique fitness clubs, and we were just really fortunate that we had filmed about 1,500 exercise videos, which were supposed to be used in studio. We opened a new boutique club 10 days before we had to lock down, and our videos are used in the studio to support the classes and the instructors. So it's like an exercise guide alongside the live experience. So it was an enhancement to what the trainer does, especially when there's blind spots in the studio. So that was the whole point, was to bring some digital content into the live experience and kind of marry the two together. When we shut down, we're like, oh, hey, we've got 1,500 exercises, of which a lot of them were the new program that we created, which is Fire Bar, because bar is a very trending workout. There's not a lot of competition in the market here in Asia. So we were also able to pull together very structured programming using our short videos to create 30-minute workouts across basic fitness training, high intensity training, boxing training, because we have a program Strike, weight training with simple dumbbells and bar, and a little bit of yoga, because we shot a number of yoga poses as well. So within about 4 or 5 days of lockdown, our first videos went out into the market, and they were a little bit shaky. We're doing all the commentating, the coaching over the top of the video, and we also had to access license-free music, because we knew that our content would get picked up if we started using music from Spotify. So we are literally working from an at-home office in our house, locked in, and we've become videographers and DJs, and we're putting out 3 workouts a day. They're called live because they are actually played. We push the button at the time that it's supposed to play, and it plays on Facebook and Instagram 3 times a day. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 5 o'clock.
Looks very good, Tracy. I think you pivoted very quickly to that as well, and it really does look very professional. Definitely represents Fire very, very well, I think. Sean, is this something you're looking to continue when things go back to normal? Will you continue to shift True Group towards digital offerings?
I think digital offerings will be expected of members. Of course, I mean, our main business, which is the physical clubs, is still going to remain. And but I think we will have to invest quite a bit in terms of digital fitness. We need to get better. But what you were saying just now, Zach, about you selling equipment to the members, because at some point in time, members are going to be wanting to do things beyond body weight. I think that's exactly where we are, as well. I'm speaking to equipment manufacturers to see how we can collaborate on this. Because if you look at the way I look at it, there are so many people offering online digital offerings, full workouts. How do you compete above, and how do you distinguish yourself in amidst all of that noise? To be honest, we can't compete with Chris Hemsworth. We can't. If Mark Wahlberg gets into it as well, then we're dead, right? So we've got to find things that would increase our stickiness. Why would our members continue to use us? And using the hardware, that fitness equipment, and then customizing workouts around that is one way. Peloton has been able to do that. So it's the hardware and the software, right? So we're sort of looking at those examples and saying how, they would work for us. But yes, we are looking at that. We have to.
Yeah, Daniel, do you think many people are going to build home gyms and then think, oh, maybe I'm not going to go back to the gyms, to the studios. I've got such a great setup at home. Do you think that might happen?
I don't think so. Look, I originally came into the industry as a mobile personal trainer, so I used to train people in their homes, and I just don't think you can get the same experience at home as you can get in the facilities and in clubs. And I think there's that whole community aspect as well. So while I think people might be better set up at home, I think it'll be more of a hybrid model. I think that people will probably value that offline or real life experience even more than they did before. But I think that also it's going to be a new world where we've got a blended experience, and I think it'll be important to be playing in both.
Yeah, absolutely. Joanne, congratulations on the birth of your baby, and really great to see you here as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself quickly, and then also how you guys have shifted to online and digital. I know you've got great things planned for later this year.
Yeah, I'm have a sleeping baby for a short period, so I've just hopped in. We obviously drastically changing for us. Being a live event platform, Expo is supposed to be a face-to-face conference to give you the chance, a bit like the Fit Summit, to meet like-minded fitness professionals and engage in awesome content and education from great minds around the world. For us, of course, given Singapore closing its borders and preventing people being within 2 meters of one another, a live event with 3,000 people is not going to happen for us, sadly, in 2020. For us, really, it's a huge learning curve, a bit like for True Group and Tracy at Fire, just having to jump on and learn pretty quickly how we can stay afloat and be able to offer content to our delegates. For us, it's really just looking at how we can still leverage on the expertise of all of the awesome people we work with. So, education companies, the likes of Tracy at Fire, the likes of True Fitness, the likes of experts from TRX, from Animal Flow, from all of the education companies we work for. Luckily, there's great people out there delivering great content. So we're just working tirelessly now to collate a lot of that so that the conference can still go ahead as an online model.
When is the conference going to be? I've got your email about it.
Yeah, so we're just actually confirming a date. Obviously, with so many switches in so many events around the world, Philex in Australia is now moving their dates. AFC in Bangkok was also very close to us at the time. So now we're trying to make it a bit of a positive and actually see how we can bring great content that we had to people maybe a bit sooner. While they're in this time of need. We're actually looking now at different platforms and different things we can use to make sure that our delegates can get access. And we're trying to see it as a positive to expand our audience a bit more, whereas we were intended to be a regional conference, looking at Southeast Asia and Singapore market with so many events.
I think the online thing does really give the opportunity to reach a different and new audience. Sorry, Joanne, I'm just going to have to switch to monetizing. I really want to know your guys' thoughts on how you're going to potentially monetize your digital offerings after things go back to normal or now. If I could start off with you, Tracy, at Fire, what's your thoughts on that?
We don't have a plan right now. I think that,
Caught you off guard there.
No, it's fine because we're obviously talking about it. I think we don't have a fixed plan, but it's definitely something that after exploring, it's something that we need to take seriously. So, I mean, some of the ideas and some of the feedback that I've been able to gather from industry heavyweights in the last few weeks, jumping online to forums like this, indicate that if you are able to offer the product that you have and something else, and tie it together as a subscription model, a bundle, that would be probably a way forward for us. Because, you know, being on boutique fitness, you know, there is a level of cost around that. People aren't able to train with us every single day because, you know, it seems a bit pricey, but maybe having an online offering at a less of a cost added on to their subscription would be a fantastic option. And so I think that's something that we're looking at for sure.
Sean, if I could just bring you in, do you have any thoughts on monetizing your content? Will it be part of the true membership afterwards, or will you charge extra? Any thoughts or reflections? 60 seconds, please.
We're looking to it as an add-on. So if you want the option, but it's going to be a very small add-on. But how we want to be able to position it is, it's not just for at-home fitness. It's when you travel. So, you know, and there will be a whole lot of travel we will see once this is over. So we want to keep people in the fitness regime, and that's how we hope to be able to sell it.
Yeah. Joanne, with your conference, is it something that you think you may be able to charge for? Any thoughts or reflections there outside of gyms and fitness studios?
Yeah, so like the other guys, really, it's something we do want to do as an add-on. We think it's a great way to outreach to more people and give them access to great content. We could perhaps look at doing, obviously the conference is something that's annual, so we don't have the day-to-day issues that other gym owners have, but we are looking at a way to maybe do it sort of twice a year. So we'll have an online conference and offering maybe that we will continue with, because I'm sure like most companies, you're putting a lot of time and effort into launching these platforms and these initiatives and getting online content. And once you've done that and you've got, you know, a good rolling plan, I think it's something that people should continue to work with and make it as an offering for their clients.
Daniel, any thoughts there, monetizing these offerings afterwards or now?
Yeah, I mean, we've found the clubs that are doing the best included in a premium level membership, and then also offer it as a drop down. So instead of someone canceling a membership because they're moving or they're not near the studio anymore, or their favorite instructor leaves or something along those lines, they can drop just to a digital only component. So when we look at the churn that our industry has, or the amount of people that leave for a few months and then come back, we can stay connected that way, learn what that member really likes, and then again target our marketing towards them when they're ready to go again. So I think that's what the way I'd look at it as well.
Thanks, Daniel. I'd like to finish, guys. We've got just about time for 1 minute of a final thought. It can be on anything with digital offering, marketing tip, production tip, or just something to get through this time. Probably less than a minute. 45 seconds would be even better. Tracy, we shall start with you.
Well, I think it's really interesting. And it's really interesting that this is a space that I've been working in for the last 2 years, and now it's just accelerated. And so, you know, I think if anybody, they say you can't replace the live experience, and I'm 100% behind that, you know, being a teacher. But if you are not on board with this now, you're kind of a bit late. So I think everybody needs to think seriously how best to service their customer base, what's going to work best for them, but then probably does need to be an element of digital there.
Yeah, Sean?
You know, I just want to answer it in a slightly different way. I think most of the businesses now are not sustainable in offering in digital, because most of us, the biggest element of our expenses and our costs would be rental. We've got spaces with some big boxes and some are boutiques. And if you're going to be, and the amount that we're going to be getting from digital offerings is not going to cover that at all. So I think in the near-term future, digital is going to just be an add-on, a supplement to the main income. And most of us hope to have that main income be revived. However, if you give it a little bit of time, I think businesses may then decide if they want to go fully online, then they would change the offering at all. Give up that space in the CBD, you know, work out at home, spend the money on a studio instead, and look for their niche in, you know, to distinguish themselves from the crowd. So a little bit different. So, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but for us, it's going to be an add-on.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Joanne, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that whatever you do should be seen as a positive. If it's to do with marketing or getting content out there, you're just getting your brand in front of more eyes. So during this time, if you can use it to just build your brand and get content out there, get your business, your gym, your program, your trainers in front of more people, that should be a positive. And if you can utilize that long term to bring in an extra revenue stream into your business, then there is a positive that can come from all of this by you putting in that time and effort in the long run.
Yeah, I think there's enough negativity surrounding everything that's happening. I think we should be centers of positivity now, and we should really be making people's day and their lives a little bit better with all the messages we put out. Totally on board with you there, Joanne. Completely agree. Daniel, final thought, and that will wrap us up for the roundtable.
Yeah, I think on that positivity, I think when we're looking at digital, those companies that come into this as digital only or digital first, they don't have what we've already got in most cases, which is an engaged community. And so I think it's really important we leverage that engaged community, whether we're supplying them with an offline or an online experience. So I think that that's something that as an online startup would kill for. So leveraging that to help build it and then even grow that side of the business from there, I think is going to be a really positive as we move into the next phase and whatever that looks like. So I think, let's take that on board and really try and grow from that existing base that a lot of companies don't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Daniel. So that wraps up our 40-minute roundtable. I'd just like to thank our guests, Daniel, Sean, Tracy, and Joanne from Xpro, Fire, True Group, and Wexa. So we didn't quite get as many people as we wanted to onto the roundtable, but it's been a wonderful discussion with my friends here nonetheless. Please do check out our businesses at the Expo. Check out our sponsors. I Am There Fitness Business Asia podcast. Do check that out as well. It's been really great to connect with you. Don't forget to reach out to as many people as possible at this summit, either through this platform or connect with them on LinkedIn. Absolute pleasure as always. Thank you guys, and I will catch you soon.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Great to meet you.
Right, I can leave the session now. Thank you guys. Cheers.